question for y'all. Why is it that it's not mandatory to learn the law in school, if this is something that dictates our presence in America? Today, y'all, we finna be hold on. I gotta close the blinds because they ain't gonna like this. Today, we're gonna talk about the dark history of law. This particular situation I'm gonna go over about Emmett Till is going to explain why black people don't respect the law. To not get banned or CBG, this video is strictly for educational purposes. This is the story of a little boy who had a stuttering problem who visited his great uncle's house. He ends up getting abducted from his home. Killed, mutilated, his eyes were gouged out, shot, and he was 14 years old. All because this woman said that he whistled at her. Now, these demons who killed him, they did not go to jail and they were convicted not guilty. We got 50 plus years going by. She ends up saying, oh, he didn't whistle at me. I lied. Now, when we try to bring this case back, the grand jury declines to indict her, right? But this little boy died. She is still alive, but she's not in jail now. Let me ask y'all, why do y'all think Karens exist? And yes, they were existing back then, putting false accusations on black people. They know that these laws are made against us. That's why they use it to apprehend us. They made laws to catch runaway slaves. They made laws to say that we cannot vote. We have to take literacy tests. We can't live in specific places. They have upgraded and created these amendments to seem ethical. But the same situations keep happening. These laws and the original Constitution and everything that plays a part with that was never meant for us. Therefore, it can never work for people of color. Black Panther activist Angela Davis was wrongfully convicted of murder and the FBI was looking for her. Like I said, creating laws so they can take you. She ends up beating the case. Before the FBI to even accuse these things of her and legally try to kidnap her, that shows that they can do whatever they want. It's the same thing with Assata Shakur. Now let's just listen to her words.
The FBI, with the help of local police agencies, systematically fed false accusations and fake news articles to the press, accusing me and other activists of crimes we did not commit.
This happened 20 plus 30 years ago and they still want her head.
National and local police agencies created a situation where, based on their false accusations against me, any police officer could shoot me on sight.
Now the things that are done to our people in the name of the law, being shot 60 times unarmed, and this is all the law has to say.
Or why officers initially deployed non-lethal tasers.
I don't know. I'm not going to respond to that because it would be speculation.
A police chief saying he doesn't know why. That's all the answers we get, according to the law.
A program that was set up by the Federal Bureau of Investigation to eliminate all political opposition to the U.S. government's policies, to destroy the Black liberation movement in the United States.
And that is the dark history of law. Y'all stay dangerous always.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYC, Become Your C. Just a little different spin on the show that I used to do. I want to welcome you. I'll be doing this twice a month just to bring some more awareness to mental health and different aspects of it. Before I get into the topic for this week, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, BYC, Become Your C, TikTok at Become Your C, also on Instagram at Become Your C. My website is down right now. I'm still trying to work it out. So if you need to message me about anything that I talk about today, or you need guidance on your mental health, because I deal with it on a holistic approach, you can message me and we can get some conversation started. Also, if you ever feel like you're very overwhelmed and you are thinking about suicide as an option, let that not be the case. There are so many people out there that's willing to help you if you just reach out to them. The suicide hotline is 1-800-273-8255. They also have a text app now where you can text 988, or you can actually dial 988 on your phone and you will get directed to one of the people there. Their website has changed a bit. It's 988lifeline.org. So please reach out to them. Please reach out to someone. Your life is very important. You deserve to be here. And I know with dealing with mental health issues that life can seem overwhelming, but there are options to help you get on your path to self-discovery. The topic for today is, how does the process of setting goals affect your mental health? So we all have goals each and every day that we set, and sometimes setting too many goals too fast can leave us feeling overwhelmed. And I think a lot of times it's because we're trying to prove something to someone that we're stronger or that we're better than with the next person. But when you're dealing with mental health issues, you got to remember that you have to set obtainable goals, because if you don't, then you'll start feeling overwhelmed. You can seep back into depression and you'll isolate yourself and it'll be a downward spiral. So make sure when you do set goals, they're obtainable. I've learned this process over the last few years is that for me, I like to set mini goals every day, and they can be small tasks. Like, I know people that suffer from depression, it's hard to maybe get out the bed or brush their teeth or bathe on a daily basis. So for them, a small goal may be like, hey, I got up today and I brushed my teeth, or I bathed myself, I combed my hair, I got dressed. So starting off small, then you add on goals that you feel like you can handle, and then you go from there. Because I believe that smaller goals will reach into those larger goals that you want for yourself. But setting goals can also have a positive and a negative effect, and that's what I'm going to get into. So the negative side of setting goals dealing with mental health issues is, again, you become overwhelmed. Anxiety and panic start seeping in, and then you feel like you're under so much pressure, right? And so with anxiety, you're focusing on the immediate, like you're worrying about, oh, what I have to do today, and that thought process start going around in your head like a hamster on a wheel, right? I know for me, I have to write things down like every day in my phone on paper. That way, all of those thoughts are not scrambled in my head, and that's what happens when you set too many goals at once. I think it's important that we do write things down. We have phones now, so we can plug it in our phone. I have a calendar that I set aside every month, what bills I have to pay, what things I have to do that for that day, because I tend to forget. Panic is worrying about what's coming tomorrow or next week. So you get so overwhelmed with the goals that you have to plan that you may not even reach them because you're getting overwhelmed by focus on long term. You fall again into depression. That's the negative side. So when you set too many goals at once, it becomes overwhelming, and that overwhelming feeling turns into depression because now you feel like you can't obtain those goals. So you can start to feel like you're a failure. You feel rejected by your own self. Now you don't reach those goals at all. So it's important to realize that, yes, you want to reach a certain goal, but there is no rush. And I tell people often that life is a journey and it's meant to be learned and it's meant to be embraced. And that I think a lot of times we have negative feelings tied to goals is because we're trying to compete with other people. And I always say, only compete with yourself. That's the only person you have to worry about, because you have no idea what that person had to do to get where they are. And just like their journey is for them, your journey is for yourself. Your doubts and your insecurities again will kick in. This is a negative side effect from goal setting. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I can't do that. I don't have the right time. I don't look a certain way. Nobody will support me. So those negative thoughts stay in your mind. And what happens is when you constantly put yourself in a negative space of thinking, it affects your body. Everything that starts up here dwindles down below. I believe that negative thinking is tied to spirituality. I'll talk about that in the end. But what happens is your cells respond to the negative thinking. Once your cells respond to the negative thinking, they'll put up their guard. Like, oh, I am this certain way. So you back off from yourself. So you don't do nothing at all. And what happens is over time, the depression really gets bad. And unfortunately, this is what I believe a lot of people, suicide could be a different reasons, but this is one of the reasons why. I think because people get so overwhelmed with life and expectations from others, to become a certain person, that they think that is the option. So the one way I believe that those negative connections with goal setting can be broken is if that you take time to really sit down with yourself and ask yourself these questions like, hey, what goals can I set for myself today that I know that I can accomplish? And sometimes you got to kind of pep talk yourself like, hey, like write it down, right? For me, I write it down. And those are the goals that I know that I need to accomplish for that day, and I get them done. And sometimes, yes, I do have to push myself because I realize that me having depression, if I let the goal slide to the next day, I don't know what's going to happen with the next day. Something can happen, and now I have to tackle that day's goals and the day before goals. And what is going to happen is I'm going to get overwhelmed and I'm going to get frustrated, and then depression seeps in more. And what happens with depression is it just attacks you, right? It's like a silent attacker, and then I won't be able to accomplish anything. So be realistic in your goal setting, right? And be kind to yourself, but know yourself also. If you know you're a person that needs a little push, I say, hey, start meditating. Writing everything down can help you stay focused. A lot of times we get overwhelmed because we're not focused. We're worrying about so many things, and this is part of, we need to change our habits. A lot of negative thinking do stem from childhood, I believe, because maybe we weren't taught how to speak positivity into our own self. Maybe we weren't taught how to have obtainable goals, or maybe we weren't taught that we were good enough. I know from experience and from people that I have had conversations with is that a lot of us didn't have the support system that we needed as we grew up, and so when we become adults, we're out seeking that validation, and that's which affects our goal settings, right? We think we need to tackle on so much, or we have to do this, we have to do that to people please, that we lose focus on our own goals. And now I'm going to get into the positive side of setting goals. The one is you feel accomplished. When you set goals, you feel great about yourself. You're saying to yourself, yes, I know I can do it. It feels good when I have goals in front of me and I accomplish them each and every day. And I'm like, yes, I got this done today. Because I have suffered from insecurities and low self-esteem, and being consistent in everyday effort. So it's like a reward for me. Like I did that just like yesterday. I had a set of goals that I needed done for yesterday. I exceeded my own goals, which was great for me. And I say this is do as much as you can each and every day with those goals. And if you feel like you can do more, that's great. And if you feel like you can't, don't push yourself past your limits, but just get those goals taken care of for that day. That way, like I know if I exceeded my goals yesterday, then tomorrow, if I'm not feeling so great, because dealing with mental health, you don't always feel the best each and every day. So I take each day as it comes, and that's what you should do. You should know yourself. You know you're dealing with mental health issue, but you also have to allow yourself room to be pushed, and pushed by yourself, not by other people. Sometimes we have to, like, I don't want to say suck it up, but sometimes we have to like kind of talk ourselves into accomplishing these goals because they can seem hard. And I know, because feeling like you're not worth it or valued, or that no one is going to accept who you are, what you're trying to do, it can feel like you're defeated. But I say do it anyway. Push yourself, because you don't never know what you can become. And this is like the baby step to something bigger. And I think if we start there, if we start at baby steps, we'll be able to get everything that we want and need. So when you setting goals, you have tasks, right? Sometimes our issues in our head become overwhelming. But I found that when we have tasks at hand to do, it takes our mind off of the negative thinking. And I started realizing over the last couple of weeks, by me I started focusing more on myself, my healing, things that I want to accomplish. If those voices are still there, but they come to a minimum, right? Because you're trying to complete these tasks. I know when I do for others and I am focused on accomplishing something, I don't worry about the noise that's in my head. So that's one good aspect of goal setting, is that you're so busy worrying about other things, is that you're not worrying about those negative voices in your head. Your self-esteem rises, right? So when you set goals, you feel accomplished, but then it's also good for your self-esteem. Like, yeah, I know I did this. I know I can do it. Oh, I pushed myself. Like last night, I promised myself that 2 hours, I set that goal every day. I'm going to work on my business, whatever I need to do for myself. So I didn't feel like it at first, but I had to tell myself, like, hey, we promised ourselves this, we're going to do this. And so when I started doing it, I was like, oh, I got into it. I felt great. And then I exceeded my time limit. I actually went to 3 hours. For me, that was a proud moment. So I'm saying this to say, like, set those goals, but it can be a boost in your self-esteem knowing that you accomplished something that you wanted to do. So setting goals, you know exactly what needs to get done, so you don't have to second guess yourself. Writing stuff down constantly, I know it can be a headache, but it also helps with forgetfulness. I tend to forget a lot. I don't know if it's due to age or just because I have so much stuff going on up here, but writing goals down, writing things down in general helps me to stay focused. It's not scrambled. I write everything down. I write bills that's due for the month. I write it down on paper, and again in my phone I set reminders so that I know that that's something that I need to take care of. I don't like stuff to pile up and then I get overwhelmed, like, hey, did I pay this bill? Or hey, did I do that today? Did I make that phone call? Oh, I was supposed to go here, but I forgot. So doing that helps you not to forget. And it also takes away some of the worry. I think a lot of us put so much pressure on ourselves to be this super person that we forget that we're human. We're not meant to be, I'm not saying we're not meant to be great. We're not meant to be great at everything. No one knows everything. No one has the answers to everything. No one can do everything. And I think a lot of times we get lost in that process of thinking that we have to become and be this greatest achievement, but being the best at who you are is the greatest gift that you can give to yourself and to the world. And goal setting is one way to accomplish that. I always encourage people to meditate on a daily basis because meditation allows you to sit and think deeply about what you want, what you need, your desires, and that it ties into goal setting. And so when you have the bigger picture and you break it down into smaller, achievable goals, I think we want things instantly and so fast as that we forget we have to go through the process. There is learning in each step that we must take in order to get to that larger goal. And a lot of times we want to zip past through the learning process, but what happens most of the time it backfires, and now we got to start at square one again. So take time to make sure you're setting goals that are achievable and attainable. A lot of us, let's say we want to buy a big house, right? The house is $250,000 and we're living in a studio. So we want that house and we want it right away. But there's our ways to get there. It's going to take time to accumulate the money that's needed to get that house. Not saying it's not obtainable, but it's not going to be obtainable in the mindset and the goal that you're trying to reach. Let's say you want to do it in 6 months, but you want to make a certain amount of money. Unless you win the lottery, you know that's not obtainable goal. So now you're setting yourself up for failure and frustration over a goal that you knew was not going to work. So you have to, one, be honest with yourself about the goals that you set for yourself. And I know a lot of us don't want to be honest with ourselves, and this actually takes time on the journey of healing and for self-discovery, is that we lie to ourselves constantly to make ourselves feel better. But what I realized on my journey is that we got to be honest with who we are, right? If we know we are lazy most of the time, be honest with yourself about that. This is the only way you can evolve, right? Be honest. Be like, hey, I know I'm lazy, so this is what I am going to have to start doing every day. I know I need to change this about myself, so this is what I'm going to start doing. Don't rush it. Pick one thing that you need to, like, you want to be different, and then work on that at a time. What happens is we try to make all these changes all at once, and it does not work out. You can't put so much pressure on yourself, because what happens is you'll explode. And I mean internally explode. That's when you feel like you're taking on too much. This is not a race. Again, we're not in a race. Life is about a whole journey. And every step you're going to discover something new about yourself. The way that you was thinking yesterday is not maybe the way that you're thinking today. The way that you think 20 years from now is not going to be the way that you think today. Unless there is no growth, and then maybe you choose to stay the same, and this conversation may not be for you. But it's important to know yourself and be honest with yourself. And it's okay. I think a lot of times we put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect. No one is perfect. If you believe in God, God is not perfect. So why do we do that to ourselves? And I think it's because we want acceptance from other people. And that's where we go wrong at. The only people that we need to be 100, well, we should be honest with everyone, but we need to be honest with ourselves first. If you lie to yourself, you're going to lie to other people. You're going to put on this facade of being this person that you're not. Or let's say you are giving, but to your family, to close friends, but you start doing all these things for other people just to prove a point, prove that you do care about, the world in general and all this stuff. Now you're going to feel like a failure, but you also lie to yourself and to others. The thing about that is you cannot cover up a lie long term. The real you is eventually going to come out. So why not be that person in the beginning so that there's no second guessing? I already said be realistic. Take time to figure out what you need. Write everything down. There is nothing right or wrong about what your goals are. They are for you. Yes, people may not agree all the time with what you're trying to do with yourself. That's on them. What I realize as I'm growing in myself is that people have these goals they want for you. And when you don't reach them for them, they get upset at you for reaching a goal that they set for you. Yes, you may lose friendships and families and what's the other one? Associates. But at the end of the day, you have to do things that make sense to you. These goals have to make sense to you. And that's all that matters. Either people are going to accept it and support it, or they're going to keep walking. But we can't live our life to please other people. We have to do things that make us happy and bring us joy and peace. When you start to set goals in the beginning and you start to meditate, and this is why, again, meditation is important and is great, you'll start to see things uncovered. And you'll start to figure out reasons why you do the things that you do. Maybe, again, I'm going to use being lazy as an example. Maybe you're lazy because of this, right? Maybe you weren't taught how to take care of things. So this is a good way to get you on track. Meditation also helps you heal maybe some of the wounds that you need to heal so that you can become the best person that you need to be for yourself. So you can kick yourself into gear and emotion, so you can start to obtain these goals, so that you can get to that larger picture that you envision for yourself. Don't allow yourself to get too overwhelmed. What I've learned over the last few months is that life is so short. At any moment, we can not be here. So it's important that we start to enjoy life. With these goals that we set for ourselves, we got to remember that life is meant to be enjoyed. The goals should be aligned with who you are and where you see yourself in life, but don't take life too lightly. Like, life is a gift for us to enjoy it, to find our purpose, to make our mark here. But our goals shouldn't be so overwhelming to the point that we forget our main purpose here is to figure out our gift, to share it with others, and to enjoy the gift that's been given to us. Don't get so wrapped up into painting this picture perfect life that you forget to enjoy it. And then remember, this is your life and you can create it how you want it. Again, the goal should be aligned with who you are and where you want to go. And every day you can create the life that you want. Now, I know certain things may be so far-fetched, right? You want a better job, but all of this stuff. That is not the whole purpose. Like, we have to do certain things just for basic living. Like, we have to pay bills, but I'm talking about the peace within when you set goals that feel great for you, right? We need to do that each and every day. We need to remember that at any moment, like, let's say we get angry, we can choose to react, or we can choose to, well, we have to react certain way, but it's certain ways that we react. It's always a left and a right way to take. And there's a consequence to each road we choose to take, but take the road that is going to allow you to see why you may be getting angry. If you don't be honest and be kind to yourself and ask yourself questions all the time, you'll never figure out the answers, right? Again, meditation will prompt you to do this. Meditation is going to force you to find those answers that you're asking yourself. The answers are there for everything that you want and need out of life. We just need to be quiet enough to listen. So if you're still struggling with just like every day-to-day stuff or mental health issue in general, don't be afraid to seek out support. I know the journey can be overwhelming, not with just goal setting, but with like dealing with mental health issues all at once. It's nothing wrong with needing support or asking for help. And I think a lot of times we are taught to be strong and not to open our mouth and just suck it up and just keep it moving. That's too much pressure on one person to not need anyone or anyone's help. And a lot of times people do suffer in silence, because when you do speak about like some issues you have or your mental health, or like, let's say you had a baby and you suffer from postpartum depression, people be like, oh, there is nothing wrong with you. Oh, I know someone else that is worse off. So what happens is that you tend to push back. Maybe you need to find a different group that supports you. I started on Facebook I'm talking about years ago, for support, because I felt that I couldn't come to someone to talk to them about my mental health issues. But the more that I speak to it, the more that I start to connect with other people that are suffering as well. We should not have to suffer in silence. There is therapy. There is, like, people use religion as support. There is self-help. There is the holistic approach, which I do to combat mental health. Mental health issues or illness is no cure for it. What we have to learn how to do is how to navigate in life dealing with it. And this is being consistent with ourselves, being honest with ourselves each and every day. We have to fight for ourselves each and every day if we want to enjoy the gift of life, if we want to be able to experience life at its full capacity. The only way to get better at something is to keep doing it. So if you're not great at goal setting, try every day. That's the only way you get better at it. Certain things maybe we're not so great at. Let's say you need your car fixed. Okay, you try. You'll never be a mechanic. That's just some far-fetched idea. But certain things you can get better at, as being consistent each and every day in your efforts. Again, mental health issues, they come and go every day. Like, today you may feel the greatest. Tomorrow, you don't know. You only can worry about and focus on what's going on with today. Set goals today that are obtainable, and then you start to build the larger picture. What I do is set those goals each and every day, and then I set myself where I see myself 3 or 6 months from now. But I focus on each and every day. I break those larger goals down into smaller goals. I know that I can't do everything all at once, and neither can you. And I had to like kind of talk to myself the other day about it because I was trying to focus on so much stuff at once that I did go overwhelmed. So I had to take a step back and say, hey, we're going to do this today. We can't worry about that because we can't, that's not a priority. So prioritize what you need to focus on today so that you can reach some goals that you want for yourself. I don't want you to miss out on life, enjoying life, because something that we can control. So we can control what happens in each and every day. Like it may not go the way that we want it to. You got to learn how to go with the curve, but we can control how we react to things each and every day. And that is like most of what I have for you today. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Don't forget again to follow me on Instagram at Become Your Seed, TikTok, BYC Become Your Seed, Facebook, BYC Become Your Seed. Website is in construction. I will let everyone know when it's up and running again. You can message me on Facebook if you want to talk about mental health issues or you want to learn more about meditation or the holistic approach to mental health. I want to say something real quick. My business, I got so many different ideas about my business. BYC stands for Become Your C, and the C is whatever you need it to be. I'm trying to do something new the upcoming year and also towards the end of this year. But if you're interested in learning about it, you can always message me as well. I have jewelry. If you look on my page, I have a whole video that explains my jewelry that I have. Everything is on sale for $5. The incense are $4 for $1. If you buy 40 of them, you get a free incense holder. I have keychains as well. I'm going to show you. I also came out with these 2 books. One is 21 Poems to Ignite Your Spiritual Journey, Become Your Seed. And this one is I Feel Everything. And this is my version of what the chakras do for me. And I can explain that more about what I use as the holistic approach to dealing with mental health. I use the chakra system. I will talk about that on another video because it's really interesting. But if you're interested in learning more about the chakras, the holistic approach to mental health, if you need one of the items to help you on your journey as well, I am more than happy to helping you because I want people to get to the place where they learn their self, they know their self, they take on life at its full capacity. Remember to start each day with smaller goals so you can reach those larger goals. Fall in love with yourself so the world can fall in love with you. Until next time.